I'm Brendan McCormack and welcome to another episode of the PERTH FITFAM podcast, where you get to hear from the best thought leaders and change makers from across the Perth fitness scene. Being the week of the Down-Under Crossfit Championships, we're catching up with Hayden Lavanda for episode 35 to discuss all things CrossFit, the changes to the CrossFit structure and his thoughts on the 2019 season, as well as the effect of the restructure on CrossFit businesses. The PERTH FitFam podcast is sponsored by True Protein. True is unafraid to cut through the noise of an oversaturated market and break the mold to deliver authentic, all-natural products with genuine health benefits and none of the fake stuff. They buck the trend for expensive, overhyped, bad-tasting protein powders and supplements packed with false promises to reinvent the marketplace and create a 100% natural, delicious, quality protein with no gimmicks, nothing artificial, and a completely transparent ingredient list. You can order True Protein online at trueprotein.com.au and use the code PERTHFITFAM10 for an exclusive PERTH FitFam discount. The PERTH FitFam podcast is also sponsored by Healthy Power Meals. Designed by professional athlete and busy mum of three, Vesna Spasevsky, Healthy Power Meals have a range of 100% non-frozen meals, including organic produce from their farm located right here in WA in Wanneroo. Healthy Power Meals are suitable for everybody. That's women, men, children, athletes, and whole families. They are nutritious, delicious, convenient grab-and-go meals tailored to your needs and goals. You can order Healthy Power Meals from healthypowermeals.com.au, also using the code PERTHFITFAM10 for an exclusive PERTH FitFam discount. That's all from our sponsors. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Is that good? Do we look awesome?
We look good.
Is my head shining off the light?
You got sunny? Show past me the sunny.
That's awesome. PERTH FitFam podcast episode 35 with my good friend Hayden Lavanda, CrossFit champion and the new F45 team playoff champion. It was a proud moment to be able to hand you that title.
Yeah, it was good.
How does it feel?
It did. It feels good. It feels cool. You know, it's a cool little novelty to have. You know, we decided to jump on and give it a crack, and that was the first time we'd done like F45 at all.
Did you not do any practice in the gym?
We done one practice, and we done one practice in the gym, and it was tough, man. Like we really severely underestimated how tough it was going to be. We all done it, and we were like, this is tough. Like this is hard. Can I say shit?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. I'll just put on the explicit content.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so we done it on a Friday night, and then we came out on Saturday and gave it a good run, and we had lots of fun. It was cool. It was cool.
It was good to see you guys out there. Taking first spot over the Brendan McCormack fan club.
I think, you know what happened though, was that on the very last part when the two teams went through, I think we were actually sitting in third, because remember you come up to me and you were like, hey, you're in the finals. We all started sitting down, eating some food, doing our thing, because I thought that we didn't make it, because on the normal scoreboard we were out. And and then when we were in the finals, we're like, oh God, like this is... I just didn't really want to go again.
Because I think it was 5 times in total. So the situation with that is, because I'm sure that Ryan and some of the Injustice crew are listening, when you're in the semis, the first goes head-to-head with the second... No, first goes head-to-head with the fourth place.
And then second and third.
And so I have a feeling that... anyway, the team that
we
you
probably
went up
beat
against,
number 2.
Yeah, you knocked them out. And the team that my guys were up against, they knocked them out, which I'm pretty sure was Injustice, and that meant that those two teams went head-to-head, and then you guys came out with the win. So that was awesome. But
it was cool.
We're here to talk about CrossFit. There's
been
plenty of changes in 2018 to 2019. We thought that we'd catch up the couple of days before I head over to Wollongong for what was the regionals. Now will be the Down-Under CrossFit Championships. And you are a multiple-time regionals athlete yourself. So give everyone a bit of your background.
Well, this will be the 10th year of doing CrossFit. For me personally, I always started CrossFit to ideally go to the games. Like I never done it to increase my fitness and do it as a social thing. As soon as I found the sport, I was all in on it.
Because you had no background in sport really prior to CrossFit, did you?
Look, I played T-ball, bit of baseball, soccer, basketball. I was a bit of a jack of all trades, but I was never a master at any of them. And then when I found CrossFit, I I just done naturally. I was just a natural athlete at it. I was really good.
Yeah.
I excelled pretty quickly.
That was a young age as well that you started, yeah?
I was 16. So I was
very young.
Yeah, I was 16 when I found it. And yeah, I just instantly fell in love with it. So like just friends that we drinking and doing their thing. Like I was just, boys, I got CrossFit on Monday.
I love it.
Yeah, so that CrossFit really kept me in line as a teen. But yeah, for me, it was always full throttle. So, but yeah, I've been 5 times. It was in 13, 14, 15, 16. Had a year off in 2017 because I was really unsure whether or not I wanted to go. And then last year in 2018, I kind of qualified by accident.
Yeah, because you were training 3 days a week and you qualified.
Well, look, to be honest, I wasn't really training at all. Like it was, I had no intention of going to regionals last year. That when the first workout came out, it was we done it here in the gym, and I was like, yeah, look, I'll jump in and have a crack with the crew, and that was all it was going to be. And then after the first, I didn't even video record it because I had no interest of competing, so I was just doing it for fun. I'd done the first workout and I got a really good score on it, and I thought, shit, I can probably go again. So I've retested it a couple of days later, got a really good score, and I think I come 7th. And then I was like, shit, I've still got some decent level of fitness.
Still got it.
So I may as well have a crack and really kind of figure out whether or not I want to do this again or not. Because in 2017, I was just over it. Like I had no sense of passion for it. I had no drive. I wasn't hungry for it. Like I used to live in Sydney and I used to travel 90 minutes to get to the gym, train there for 3 hours, and then travel 90 minutes back. Like that's not going to happen anymore for me. Like I just didn't have the drive like I used to, and for me that was a big turning point to go, I just don't want to compete anymore. I didn't love it. It felt like a chore rather than something I felt like I really wanted to do.
And I think like as an athlete, any athlete, no matter what you do, actually even in anything business, unless you like love it and you desire it and you're willing to put in the work, you might be able to rely on your talents at a certain stage, but to really for you to get to
take it
games,
to the next level.
Yeah, like I mean, looking at the things that James Newbury does to be able to do what he does, you would say I have the same talent and the potential to do that.
Definitely.
But if you don't have that drive and the things that you love at business, which we'll chat about later, it's really going to stop you from getting to that level.
Yeah, it does. And there's I always say to my team here at Tenkay, like it's not the one big thing that you do. It's consistency over the lots of little things that kind of take you to the next level. And it's true. Like you can naturally be a really good athlete at CrossFit, but that's only going to get you so far. You know, if you want to take it to the next level, there's a lot of things you have to sacrifice and there's a lot of things that you have to do to be willing to get there. And for me personally, I wasn't willing to sacrifice to make it to that stage. And I didn't want to.
Yeah. What's the lessons that you have learned out of CrossFit and being a top level athlete that have helped in your everyday life?
Probably just the sheer focus, you know, like sheer focus and knowing that it's, look, to be honest, in terms of like business-wise and everyday life, I think I've gotten a lot more out of things after CrossFit. In terms of like doing WODs and being a really good athlete hasn't given me the drive to become a good business person. Yeah. But it has taught me. It's taught me a lot of mental strength. So for instance, like, you know, now that we're focusing on my business a lot, I know that I don't necessarily have the skills right now, but if I work at them and keep consistently working at them, I'll eventually get there. But I just have to completely love the process and just give it my very best. So,
what was your biggest highlight from all of your CrossFit competitions or your CrossFit days as an athlete? What was your biggest highlight, or what you would deem your most successful or happy moment?
Oh gosh, look, to be honest, I don't think that there was like one. Actually, you know what? Actually, this probably was the highlight. I think it was like 2014 or maybe 2015, and it was you had 3 attempts at a max hang snatch, and there was like with me personally, like if I've missed a snatch and it was, let's say, 80 kilos, and I missed it because it was just an accident, I know I can put more weight on because it wasn't a strength issue. It was the timing or position or whatever. So at the regionals, there was a hang snatch event. I think it was like maybe 100 kilos. Hit that first lift, and then as my second attempt came around, I put 111 on, I think it was, and I went to hit the lift and I missed it. And I looked up at the crowd, and there was like people from the gym up there, and Mum.
I think I was up there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like Mum specifically was up there, and one of my good friends in the gym, Pete, known as Chong, like I left 111 and I put more weight on there. And Chong was saying that Mum was flipping out. She's like, "What's he doing?" Blah, blah, blah. But I knew I could hit it, so I put more weight on, hit the lift and made it, and looked up at the crowd, and everyone just went nuts, and it was sick. Like that was probably like a really cool thing, and that was probably one of the bigger highlights. But just the fact of being able to go to regionals and just be in that environment, like it teaches you so much. So like my very first year when I went to regionals, I got pumped. Dude,
You were just a little kid. You were 19.
Yeah, man, I got hammered. Like there was one workout. It was 21.59 deadlift box jumps, and for the guys it was 140 odd kilos. There was a dude that finished that WOD before I finished my 21 deadlifts.
Really?
Yeah, smashed me.
That's crazy.
So,
How'd that make you feel?
just buried, like I just got crushed.
Yeah.
But it was good because at the end, like I come dead last that year at regionals. I come in at 48th in the open, and that was the minimum. Like that was the last spot, and but after that year, like it just gave me so much more hunger and drive to become better. And I got I got better every year, but I was never great. Like I was never incredible, because same thing. I just didn't have that crazy hungry desire that you see in other athletes.
Yeah. I think that's really, really good feedback. Now let's go on to CrossFit and their changes, because this is the main part that we wanted to discuss. So obviously there was a lot of changes in 2018. CrossFit announced that there would no longer be regionals. There's now going to be sanctionals. We have national champions, which are now qualifying to the games. But when they announced all this, a rule book wasn't released. It was kind of up in arms, and it seemed like it was a bit of backyard cricket. So they were kind of making up the rules as they went. Give us your thoughts on the changes.
Look, I think just for easy numbers' sake, if they made 10 changes, I think that 9 of them are really, really good. I think that they're very easily to understand and why they've decided to do it. But the one change that I necessarily don't agree with is the national champions. I think that there are much more qualified athletes out there that deserve to go. And there's other reasons as well, which we'll highlight today. But the 9 things are really good. It's the national champion part of it that I personally just feel like it's wrong. And I mean, like, for instance, Greg Glassman is a very smart man. Like, he's a very, very smart dude. He's created this global movement, which no one else has been able to do. Yeah. And this is why CrossFit's blown up on the scene. He's not a dumb guy. So he's made these changes because he wants to globalize the sport of CrossFit and give every athlete around the world the potential, the ability to compete at the games. What I think is that everyone already had that opportunity. If they were good enough. If they were good enough. Like, this isn't... The CrossFit Games is not something where, you're a kid at school and you get a participation, like, little ribbon. It's the CrossFit Games. Like, you're the elite of the elite. Now, they're handing out participation ribbons.
Yeah, and just saying that quickly, so because obviously we've had some local athletes that have qualified as national champions, and it's nothing to take away from them, because based on the rules, they've done an awesome job.
They have.
And they've genuinely qualified, and they should be proud.
Yeah, they should.
Based on the current rules. So for those who are listening in who are either those people or not those people, none of this is a crack.
Yeah,
at that
and
situation.
Can I just say as well, everything that we're about to talk about is non-directed at any individual. Yeah. This is just my thoughts on the whole thing, but this is Perth FitFam, and we're going to talk about what's going on here because we know it.
Yeah, 100%. So I would say I have the same thought, and then when you see people who are not at a close to qualifying regionals level, and then you see Noah Olsen, who looks like he's not going to make the games. Yeah. For me, that's bizarre that we're not going to see the top athletes go actually get to the games, the guys that you want to see. But then at the same time, I look at these guys from a career point of view, that sponsorship money that they're not going to get, like it's their chance to, I guess, have a platform that they're not going to get.
It's a career more as well as an expression of fitness. Look, I think with trying to globalise the sport and make every country have its own national champion, one issue that I have with that is that, look, we've got, same again, we got 5 people. I think is it 5? 4? Let's just say it was 5. Yeah. Let's say we've got 5.
There was 5 people who were close. There's 2 people who have definitely qualified.
Okay. Well, let's just say for a number's sake it was 5, right? And I don't know why, but I'm going to use Tonga as an example. I saw a meme about it, so just we'll use Tonga. So they're trying to pick champions or have champions of Tonga as a representation to be able to have somebody from that community represent the Tongan CrossFit community on a global scale. But when you've got athletes that live in Australia, that do all of their training in Australia, and that they don't coach in Tonga, They don't go to a box in Tonga. None of the small community of boxers know who this person is that lives in Australia that is from Tonga. They're not adding any community aspect, or they're not giving anything to that community which they're about to represent. So if they wanted to truly have a great representation of, or they wanted to truly send a person from their country to represent them at the games, it should be somebody that lives there, that adds to the community, whether that's through just being a member, being a coach, or having an affiliate. Not somebody that was born there that now lives somewhere else and adds to the community in a different country.
Yeah,
that's a big grey area that I think that they probably missed up on. And as well, like even still, the people that live here that are from that country and that are now going to the games, none of them have been to regionals. Some of them are high level RX athletes that overall, because I've been involved in the scene, haven't won any local comps. Some of them were high level intermediate athletes, and now you get a automatic shot to go to the games where there's like in an easy playing field of a country where the level of athletes are, in all due respect, very low.
Yeah. So just to clarify, I just remembered it's actually 3 athletes from Perth that are qualified.
Okay.
So my issue with it, like what you said, is I understand the idea that they're trying to build a global audience. They want to open up more CrossFit boxes. They want to expand this fitness program, not the sport. They want to expand a fitness program of CrossFit and open up more affiliates. So my biggest issue is that they are going based on the citizenship and they're not going based on where you live. So if the idea is to create bigger impact within that country, and the person who qualifies... Should be people making
the impact.
Yeah, if you don't even live there, then how is that going to create it? Because if we have 5 people in WA who almost qualified and 3 people who are going, WA is very small in the scheme of it. I want to know how many people who have qualified as a national champion are in the same situation where they have a citizenship, but they live in America, in UK, or they live, here in Australia.
There's going to be a lot.
And I think that takes away from it. And then by doing that, if they're trying to grow the sport, and then, they're not going to see max benefit out of that, but then it's taking away from the sport because we're not going to see the best of the best.
Look, I think that in the end, we're going to end up seeing the best of the best. But the people that are going to miss out are the people from like 10th to 40th.
Yes.
The people that made up the rest of the field at the CrossFit Games that are legitimate games athletes.
Yep.
But as well, that 10 to 40 are also the people that they've probably got sponsorship and career deals and all that type of stuff. So, they've put in the hard work to become a CrossFit Games athlete, blah, 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 blah. But I think that potentially what should have happened, rather than sending 200 individuals, both male and then 200 females to the games, because let's just say that there's 100, I think the number was like 162 different countries are going to send somebody. If everyone, in a perfect world, if everyone goes.
And then plus the sanctionals, so that's where the 200 comes from.
So let's say that there was 18 sanctionals, that's 180, and then you got the top 20 from the open.
Yep.
You've got 200 males and 200 females now competing at the CrossFit Games, when legitimately there's only the top 20 from the open and the people that come first at the sanctioned event. So there's really kind of 38 very, very good athletes and 62 people who are unknown,
yes.
Right? I think what they should have done was they've got all these sanctioned events around the world. Everyone's got the option to buy a plane ticket, so it's accessible to compete in different countries around the world. The sport of CrossFit had the Open, which was a worldwide event. So you had another opportunity to equally perform as well as everyone else and get your ticket to go to regionals or the games. I feel like what they should have done was give the extra places to the people that come second and third at the sanctional events, because let's say for easy numbers sake there was 15 sanctional events. You got, and I'll just use males because it's an easy number. You got 15 males that have come first. You've now got 30 people that have come first and second, and you've now got 45 people that have come first, second, and third that are legitimate athletes that have performed at a CrossFit sanctioned event that are on a podium. So clearly they've done the work against a legitimate pool of athletes to then have the qualification to go to the games.
Yep.
But Sam, I haven't seen any of the athletes that I know who have qualified for the games compete at any sanctioned event.
No.
Why would they?
Yeah.
Because they know they're not going to get through.
It's a valid point.
And you know what as well? It's a simple fact that they're not good enough to go. And I can say this because I've been to five regionals, and I'm not a good enough athlete to go to the games. It's not a personal attack on anyone.
Yes.
These people are just not simply good enough to go to the CrossFit Games. Therefore, they should not be going.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this, I wanted to hold back my opinion on the games until I see it, because we might see it and it might be awesome. I'm definitely on the side of doubting that.
Yeah.
Except it may happen. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, let's see how this games thing plays out this year and then over the next few years as they unwind it. But did you see the interview with Greg Glassman and Craig Ritchie?
No.
Team Ritchie, the YouTuber? Okay. So it's about a 40-minute interview with Greg Glassman, and it was a chance for Greg to explain everything. And he sounded like a lunatic. Like an absolute lunatic, and where he came from, because I was like, okay, I can see what he's doing. He's trying to get global expansion. This is a good way of doing it. I understand that side. Hardly brought that up at all. It was everything to do with him and why he doesn't like the games, and he doesn't care about seeing athletes out there, and it was all about CrossFit Health.
Yeah.
And the way that he was saying it, I'm like, man, I literally feel like you're going to Titanic the brand.
Look, I think for people like me who have been in CrossFit long enough, we know that it's a very our way or the highway type of brand.
Yes.
CrossFit is a very, this is what's happening. If you don't like it, that's your own problem. You know, there's a lot of athletes that have been treated like that. I've never really felt the wrath of it as an athlete because I wasn't good enough to go to the games.
Yep.
But as an affiliate owner, I've certainly felt that.
Yep.
With that, the whole him wanting to sound crazy, you know, with CrossFit Health. As an affiliate owner, I think it's great.
Okay.
I think it's really, really good. That was one of the 9 things that I think is fantastic. The national champion area is the huge grey area that I have the issue with.
Sure. So talk about the areas that you do like
Well,
with
look,
it, CrossFit Health and as a gym owner.
Look, as a gym owner, you know, it's a everyone sees CrossFit as these freaks of nature. Right? Because respectively they all are. Like the freaks are what they do.
The best.
And when your regular Joe Blows that just want to lose weight, get in shape to be able to run around with their kids, increase their fitness and do all this stuff, that level of extreme fitness is very intimidating and it's very scary. And it's almost unachievable for them to kind of comprehend getting. You know what I mean? So what they're doing with the whole CrossFit Health and stuff like that, like have you looked at CrossFit.com?
Mainly games.crossfit.com, but
even the CrossFit.com website, like rather than having all these crazy articles and videos.
You know, like the imagery and like
the imagery.
everyday people? So
everyday people.
Their social media
That's
is very much like that now.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, as an affiliate owner, they're making the brand more relatable to people who are going to be members in our gym.
Sure.
Rather than pumping the games up so much, which is going to be very scary.
So my question with this then is when CrossFit started, it was very grassroots. So it was very, very basic. It was obviously military inspired, but it was like more so everyday people. And then it evolved and the games, like what Greg was saying, the sideshow became the face, and then the actual core of the business got pushed to the side. So I look at this in a few different ways. Before CrossFit, there was nothing like what we see now. So the boutique gyms, your F45s, there was nothing like this. And CrossFit obviously inspired a whole part of the fitness industry to change and become better. I look at it 2 ways. Yes, I understand they're trying to go back to what they do and, you know, make CrossFit a less elite thing. But I also look at it and go, but your brand has evolved as well. So why would you dismantle where it's evolved to, where you've pleased a part of the market to try and go back where you are? Because if you do try and go back to where you are and you take away from where the business is at now, you're going to go against a whole bunch of different competition that was not there before, that are doing a really good job filling that part of the market. And if you pull away from what your core community likes, I think that we'll probably see mass unaffiliation.
Well, look,
you're an example of that.
We're a great example of that. That's probably another in-depth discussion to have about what Tenkay is and what we're doing. But I agree with that. I think, you know, when CrossFit first started, no one knew about it, and the people that were involved in it were real CrossFit. Like, this is what we love because it is so different, and that's what made the sport so good. And that's what made the sport so good. Probably not their business, you know. But then, from what I'm guessing, is that because that started to grow so much, obviously they've just gone on with that, and that's kind of been their brand. I understand what Greg Glassman's trying to say, how he's like, there's out of the X amount of affiliates in the world, 1,500 of them have taken off 100 pounds off a member. Like, we've got a few people in here that have lost over 45 kilos, which is 100 pounds. But we don't have anyone that's gone to the games. And that's what he's saying, is that there's a very small amount of people there's a very small amount of affiliates that send people to the games, but there's a very large portion of affiliates that actively change people's lives. And that's why we're deciding to get rid of the games and move towards the CrossFit Health, because that's where the greater impact is.
Do you think that these people get inspired by games athletes once they're in
No.
there?
Not
Really?
at all. No,
Okay.
not at all. I've never had someone join my gym because, well, maybe a couple, but like just randomly off the street join my gym because I've been to regionals 5 times.
Has anyone joined your gym because of Redeemed and Dominant?
No.
Okay. You know what's funny? I hear that so much.
No.
People discovered CrossFit through their Netflix documentaries.
Look,
and that went, I want to, this looks cool.
It probably has. It's probably been in the back of their mind, and they're like, I want to try fitness. I've seen this cool doco. I want to give CrossFit a shot, you know? But it's not the real reason why people come to the gym.
Yeah.
People come to the gym because they have a lot of personal goals that they've got, not because they saw some crazy freak on Redeemed and Dominant, you know? So I completely understand where Glassman's going, and I really like the way that CrossFit's heading. As an affiliate owner, in the future, we're not going to be affiliated, so it's not really our problem. But as like I said, going back to the whole national champion thing, I think it's a huge devaluation of being able to call somebody a games athlete.
Yeah.
And have you seen Sonny Webster? You know Sonny.
Yeah.
So Sonny's got a tattoo on him, and it's the Olympic rings.
He's got the Olympic rings, yeah.
So I'll just use that as an example. If, let's say, for instance, if you've been a competitive athlete in whatever field and you have made it to the Olympic Games, that is the pinnacle of that given sport.
Yes.
And you deserve the right and the ownership to say that you're an Olympic level athlete, like you're an Olympic Games athlete. People that aren't athletes don't understand the value of what that statement and what that symbol symbolizes to people like me, you know, because they're not athletes. They do their thing, and kind of we do our thing. Like, we're athletes, and being a CrossFit regional athlete has a lot of impact on me when I see Instagram bios, and there's plenty of people in Perth that have got it, CrossFit regional athlete, that have never been to regionals. You are so full of shit.
Do they really?
Yeah, of course they do. Not naming any, they know who they are.
I did not know that. I'm going to change my bio.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's for the people that don't understand the work and just how much time and effort and what it really means to be X.
Yeah.
It completely devalues what it means to be now a CrossFit Games athlete, because we're about to have 160 Instagram bios on males, 160 Instagram bios on the females that are about to change to being a CrossFit Games athlete.
On the flip side of that, if I was one of those national champions, I would definitely be putting that in my bio.
I would too, you know, because, like, I mean, it's true. It's all in the rules, so you're allowed to do it. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that for the people that are legitimate athletes, it completely devalues the meaning of what it means to be a games athlete.
I agree with that. Now, we've had X amount of sanctional events so far. When they first came out, I was very, very disappointed as far as
the quality.
The quality. Yeah. And you know, for me, I'm in media. I like to see the broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm a frother. I'll sit there and I'll pretty much watch the whole regionals events, like all of them. And when we didn't get to see that through the sanctional events, or the broadcasts were very poor quality, I was and just even the crowd participation, I was pretty disappointed. But then China was on, was on recently. So obviously Costa and Kim and Connor were over there. So a few of our guys from Perth, and the broadcast was much better than what it was previously. So it gave me a little bit of hope in saying, okay, well, maybe this is going to evolve over the next 5 years.
Yeah, which I'm sure it will. Everything gets better with time. Yeah,
it seemed like they went back 7 years, but it definitely looked like it had progressed. So I thought, okay, maybe there's a method to this madness, and maybe it's going to progress. Have you actually watched any of the sanctionals?
No,
I didn't think.
To be honest, look, I watched. To be honest, no. Like, I don't. I just focus on what's going on in the gym, because I don't know, like, I get this weird thing that if I hear what's going on outside, it just takes up space in my brain, and I'm too focused on what's going on here inside of the gym. Even doing this podcast has kind of destroyed my productivity for work in the last 7 days.
Sorry.
That's all good. But look, I think it's like just even the way that they've done that. I thought it was really cool that, you know, we've got you know, when there was the CrossFit Open announcements, like the first one was in like French or something. No one understood what was going on. Yep. But I thought it was cool because they're trying to diversify and make it more accessible to everyone. Yeah?
Yes.
I think that was really cool. But they're going to come up with some hiccups along the way, and there's nobody likes change. As a gym owner, everyone hates change.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
but people get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it becomes the new normal.
And it becomes a new normal. It's a part of what it is. You know.
Yes.
So look, there was a bit of uproar about the changes and the quality and stuff like that. Whatever. You know, it's going to get better. You know, but as long as we come out of the end with having the right people at the games and having the bet like no one's going to beat Fraser, so like you're gonna have the actual champions there, then that's fine. But like I want to make a point like here. I kind of forgot about this.
Yeah,
like,
you wrote top 10. So before I go any further, let's chat about this.
Well, the top 10 is like for what's happening with the seeding. Have you read about the seeding?
So from what I'm aware, your seeding will be based on your place in the Open, but what they're going to do is eliminate people down to the top 10, and the final 2 days will just be the top 10 athletes going head to head.
That's it. Like, and that's really cool. Like, and I think that's really good because, same again, at regionals, the only people that were watching me, like the top, like Heat 4 was like the big dogs.
Yes.
You know? I was always kind of like Heat 2, Heat 3.
Yep.
Right? The only people that watch me in Heat 2 and Heat 3 are people like my family and my friends. Otherwise, you're not really going to watch Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3 because you want to see the freaks.
If I stream, I watch Heat 4.
Exactly.
Of every single event.
And this is the top 10. So they're getting rid of 190 people through the national champions, through the sanctional events and blah, blah, blah. And ultimately, they're still going to have the top 10 and the correct people to be there. And you know what? It's probably going to be awesome because we're not going to have to filter through all the bullshit of people not being able to do a handstand walk and people fumbling a stupid weight and blah, 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 because you're going to see the freaks.
Yep.
And that's what everyone wants to see. You don't want to see someone at the games that can't snatch 40 kilos.
Yes.
You know, you want to see the freaks there. Yep. And I think what they're doing with the seating is really cool. But I feel like that it's same again. The seating could have been done better with everyone has a fair opportunity to go to the games through the Open and through these sanctional events. By giving so many people the easy access to become a games athlete, I just think it is completely tarnished the meaning of what it means to be a CrossFit Games athlete. Yep. Even though that the correct people are still going to be there at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Going back to the whole Olympic ring symbol, just having the symbol it means so much more than just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that going back to what I said before, a better way to do it would to be if they could have more sanctionals further around the world, then that's fine. That's cool. But take the top 3 people from a legitimate field of athletes that have deserved to earn a spot to go to the games, not someone in Tonga where there's 2 affiliates.
Yeah. So my question then to do with athletes, if you were a games athlete or you were on the fringe, so we're talking like a Royce Dern, we're talking about Khan Porter, these sort of guys that were regular games athletes, but now based on the new structure, probably Khan could win regionals. Oh, sorry, sanctional. He definitely would have a crack, but a high chance that he wouldn't. What would your advice be to these people that were games athletes, but now probably won't be?
Well, it's the same again. It's a fair field because you have the opportunity to compete at 16 sanctioned regional events, and you've actually got now a better chance of going to the games. And this is one of those 9 things that I think is a great idea. I think the sanctionals are awesome because, like now, for instance, if I wanted to compete, I don't have to wait once a year to compete against the best people in Australia. I've now got 17, 18 opportunities throughout a year to compete against Fraser, Fikowski, Vellner. Like, what they've done with the sanctionals is awesome. I think it's heaps better than regionals. Yep. Not from a community point of view, because the community was such, like, for anyone that's been to the Australian regionals as a spectator, it's awesome. Like, it's just wicked, you know? But I understand why they've done it, but also from an athlete point of view, you've actually got a better option. And you have more chances of making it to the games.
In what way? Because you can only first place goes.
Well, yes, you've got 18 shots to win.
Okay.
Whereas, like, even if you could only have 5 shots at placing at regionals, you've only got 5 chances to go to the games.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yep.
So you've got 3.5 times the more likelihood of you going to the games because you've got so many more opportunities. If you screw up your prep and you fail at regionals, you don't get another go.
Yeah.
If you fail at a sanctional, you can dust it off, have a sleep, do whatever, go to the next one and give it another good crack.
Yeah.
So people like Khan have got a lot more opportunities, and people like me have got a lot more opportunities to go to the games.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're a good enough athlete to qualify, That's what it really comes down to.
Cool. So that's the issue of the national qualification, the national champions. Okay. So I asked, how do you think it will affect athletes? How do you think the changes will affect CrossFit as a business, or CrossFit businesses and affiliate owners?
Look, to be honest, I haven't really thought about how it's going to affect CrossFit. But I think if we talk about athletes and how then we talk about affiliates, talk about the athletes, just quickly going over what I just said. I think it's much better for athletes.
Yep.
Aside from the national championship, which we've just spoken about.
Yes.
You got more opportunities to go against better athletes multiple times throughout the year. So, like for instance, like here in Perth,
yes,
there was when I was at regionals, it was mainly Costa and I.
Yes.
So Costa and I could get together, train, do whatever. It was really cool to be around him because him and I could train and we'd push each other.
Yep.
Whereas for me to be in Sydney, I can't train with Khan and Rob and James and all these people because they're not here all the time. So Costa and I only had the option to train with each other. Now I've got the opportunity to train with Fraser, Vellner, Fikowski, all these big dogs multiple times throughout the year.
Yep.
So as an athlete, it's so much better that they've done this because you're going to grow a lot faster and get a lot better a lot quicker.
Yeah. So even Costa, like a couple of weeks ago, having the chance to compete against Fikowski.
It's just awesome. Like you don't know what mentally you don't know how that feels until you're actually there. Like you can't prep yourself for what it's like to compete against Fraser when you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like just the value of just having the easy access to compete against Fraser, like all these sanction events, it's so valuable. So it's really, really good that CrossFit have done that. I think that's awesome. You know, we got a few, like at the start, I thought I hated it, but I was like, I kind of sat down because I'm a regional athlete, you know.
Yes.
But when I kind of sat down and really read it all, I thought it was awesome. We've got a few people in here that, like, their goal was to go to regionals. So their specific goal was to go to regionals, which it's a shame because there's no more regional athletes. But I think it's for the better because now those guys in here, they can go to 18 events and be against Fraser rather than trying to compete against someone like me.
So you got like a Thor or a Naon, and that was their goal. But now they can still go because they would have had a higher chance to qualify for the Down-Under Championship than what they would have for regionals because it's 40 spots specifically from Australia, and that's not including New Zealand, Russia, and the Asian countries that used to come over. But going back to affiliate owners, how do you think this is going to affect them on a global scale?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really good because, like I said before, I think that people have seen CrossFit as the elite of the elite. We often, and I'm sure there's a lot of other affiliate owners out there, that where people will come in and a big response is I need to get fit before I do CrossFit, and that's not the fact. Like, you know what I mean? We offer more than just CrossFit in here. We've diversified a lot.
Yes.
So we've got multiple streams for people to kind of jump into to build their base level of fitness without being too intimidated. But if you're a standalone CrossFit gym, this is a good thing because the way that the branding is going to get done, the people they're going to use to market, the stories they're now going to tell is going to be a lot more relatable to everyday people that are just trying to increase their health and wellness, which is great.
Okay, so then I guess I've got a question which I didn't write down, but out of interest's sake, why did you want to affiliate?
Well, because it's not that I'm a control freak, but I have a very, very clear vision of what I'm trying to achieve inside of my business and what that thing looks like. And if I'm affiliated with CrossFit, they have a level of control.
Sure.
You know, so if, like, when people come into RTAX, like we've just rebranded into Tenkay. When people came into RTAX, they didn't know RTAX as RTAX. They knew it as CrossFit.
Sure. You
got the old mate Hurdy's back over there. Someone's in a wheelchair from here. This dude in America fucking done whatever. And that now looks bad on me because I'm a CrossFit gym.
Yes.
So the brand of CrossFit has a lot more control over my business in terms of like the way people perceive it more than what they think. Yep. Or they probably do know that, but more than what I like. So what we're doing is that we're de-affiliating, not our Midland gym, in our next gym and all the other ones that we're going to open. They're not going to be affiliated because we have a lot of our OG members in here that started when it was pure CrossFit.
Yep.
And we're gonna respect the fact that they enjoy that.
So you're going to maintain this as an affiliated gym?
The Midland gym will always be affiliated as CrossFit RTAX.
Okay, I wasn't aware. I thought that you had unaffiliated completely.
No, we're still affiliated. This gym will always stay affiliated.
Okay, sure.
But every other 10K gym that we open are not going to be affiliated at all. There won't be Friday night open workouts. There won't be any of this crazy shit going on with double unders, snatches, and ring muscle ups in a workout, because it's not that they're not the type of workouts and they're not the type of people that 10K is aiming for. Whereas in here, we're going to respect the fact that we've got a lot of people that started in RTACs for what CrossFit really was. And I don't want to change this gym, even though, to be honest, it would be a very profitable business move if we did do that. But I'm loyal to the people that are in here that are loyal to me.
Yes.
And I have more than enough opportunities to open multiple gyms everywhere and test that type of stuff. But in here, we're going to keep it as CrossFit.
So I think that's smart, because I wasn't aware that's the case, but I think that's smart. So then I guess my question is, with the changes in CrossFit, this CrossFit Health, the way that they're marketing, but then you even just saying that those sort of people are not the kind of people that are going to come in and do snatches and double unders, then is CrossFit really the right vehicle to do what they're doing now?
Look, Midland location here, it will eventually turn into that.
Sure.
So
no double unders, none of that sort of thing. Okay, as it weeds out. So yeah, then my question is, from a CrossFit HQ point of view, trying to get back into the health side of it and trying to get those everyday people, do you think that they will need to change their training methodology to suit that?
No.
Because there's so many boutique businesses that kind of do CrossFit, but not the hardcore CrossFit.
Look, it's not CrossFit's fault that a lot of CrossFit gyms aren't successful. It's the owner's fault.
Agreed, yeah.
So CrossFit isn't going to, it's not to my knowledge, they're not going to change the way that they do we're not doing double unders and snatches and muscle ups in 10K gyms from an attendance point of view, because you probably only be able to fit 20 people in our gym at one time doing that workout, right? Before it starts to get too much. But if we removed all that stuff, we could easily fit 80.
Yes, okay.
In one class. You know, that's why we're doing it. So I think the CrossFit methodology of training is going to stay the same, because for anyone that's done the CrossFit level 1, level 2 and more of those courses, what they say is really, really good stuff from a training point of view. And the way they explain it and the methodology behind it is incredible. But it's just not who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, one more thing on CrossFit. They announced that they're going to do licenal events, is what they're going to call it. So it's a way that they can affiliate local CrossFit events. Now, you run Games Day, which is an event coming up in
August 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Excellent. Do you think that there's value in running a CrossFit licenal event for a local competition?
Look, no. No. Only because from the feedback that we've gotten about Games Day, was that it was a really good event. I'm biased. It was my competition. I think it was the best one, hands down. But you know what? From other people's opinions that we've collected, we've got an amazing amount of feedback saying that was a really, really good competition. If you have a competition that's going up against Games Day and they're a CrossFit license event and it's a shit competition, it's got no impact at all. Like just from it being a CrossFit licensed event, you're probably going to get the people like me when I was competing, and a lot of the other people that are trying to go to the games and do all that stuff, the real hardcore CrossFitters that might want to do that event. But if it's a crap event, it's not run on time, the workouts are bad, it's poor planning and blah 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 blah, just the name, like it's going to be more detrimental to CrossFit than what it is that competition. Yeah. So I think that no, it's not going to add any value to the competition unless it's ran really well and it's a phenomenal competition.
I think unless it's a competition like let's say Chasing Better, where they would probably be looking to try and get a sanctional event, it might be a stepping stone in a way to get that. That's the only way that I can see the value of doing a licensed event. Outside of that, you've already got the community, the database. CrossFit aren't marketing to bring you more people. All you're doing is paying for a stamp. But it doesn't change anything. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't change anything outside of that.
No, and I think it's got a lot to do with the like what do I want as the creator of Games Day? You know what I mean? My goal for Games Day it's to being a regional athlete. I wanted to help people understand what the series was like going from open to the games. Like, I didn't go to the games, so I missed that part out. But you know what I mean? Like, just we take people through a journey, and the journey is through the season of the games, which is the open, the regional, and the games, and people get to experience what it's like to do those workouts, which is a really, really cool and different way to do a competition, and we're really happy with it.
Yep.
But Shit, I
Yeah,
just
so
lost.
no value of licenals.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're up to 42 minutes, so I want to finish this up pretty quick.
Cool.
Quick question. How can we grow or improve CrossFit in Western Australia?
Run a better gym, offer better services, be a lot more personable to the members. That's really all it comes down to. So I think that if you're an affiliate owner or your coaches inside of the gym, we have a lot of great coaches here. We have a lot of good programs, and we have a lot of good gyms. But if you're not a personable trainer and you don't really get to know your members, that's the true detriment to the brand. It's not that you're a bad coach or you're the best coach. Like, you need to get to know your members and you need to build better relationships with your members.
Awesome. All right, I got to ask this. Are you ever going to make a comeback to competition?
Definitely not.
You've heard it here first. What a scoop. Last question, final question.
Yeah.
Jono Dunlop
Yeah.
and Costa compete at Games Day.
As in, are they? I hope so.
No, they are.
Okay.
Don't worry, I've asked them.
Good. I'll ask him.
Who wins?
Look. I don't know. Look, I've never competed against Jono. I've never really seen Jono compete. I know he's an extremely fit dude. But I've competed against Costa, and I know what Costa's like. So I think it's going to be tough. But look, I think Costa would win.
Costa.
So
all right.
That's not taken away from Jono Dunlop. So John, if you're watching this, I don't think you're bad.
You can't sit on the fence now.
I just haven't seen you do as much as Costa.
This is it, mate. We need rivalries. We need rivalries. You're on the fence, so there's no more Costa versus Hayden. So
no, I'm off the fence. I've fallen off. I'm Humpty Dumpty. Like I'm well off.
I love it. That's awesome. Hayden, that's it. Thanks for being
Awesome.
on. Anything that you want to say before we go?
Not at all. Not at all. I just want to say, if anyone's watched the whole episode, I just want to thank you very much. Yeah, I think that what CrossFit's done is for the better.
Okay.
And there's always going to be faults and there's always going to be flaws. So it's just something that as a community we just have to accept and appreciate that they're trying to make change. So we just hang on for the ride, and it is what it is.
Perfect. Hayden Lavanda, 10K.
Thank you very much.
Peace out. That's it for episode 35 of the Perth FitFam podcast with Hayden Lavanda. If you've liked what you've heard, make sure to head to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Also, leave something in the comments. We love to hear your feedback. And if you'd like to see the full video replay, it will be exclusively available to our Facebook fan supporters. So if you'd like to jump on and support Perth FitFam, head to our Facebook page and click the button which says Become a Supporter. That's it for today, and as always, stay tuned for more of the Perth Fitness scene to come.